it's Heather with another update on my mold detox. Today is the 20th of July, 2024. I am, it's been an eventful couple of days for me. The first thing that happened, since my last update, of course, I got this lucky break of having my doctor suggest that she work with my Washington doctor as a consultant on my case, which allows me access to the protocols and the methods that my Washington doctor utilizes. That's a big break. But I noticed in my apartment that there were some things happening with the ceiling, and also at the corner of this wall and ceiling in my roommate's bedroom, along the same line as the thing that was happening on the ceiling over my bed. That caused me to wonder if there was an active water leak. I contacted my landlord thinking these guys are great and they'll be responsive, which they were. They were extremely responsive, but not in any kind of like beneficial way. They took a quick look at it and they were like, man, it's nothing, it looks cosmetic. Do you want us to repair it? And of course I was like, whoa, people, like hell no. Understanding enough to know that if you disturb an area without proper remediation, you can make the problem like 10 times worse or more. So I realized I needed to do sort of a top line dust test for the apartment that I'm living in. I'd use Assured Bio Labs test. It's the Big 2 plus Chitomium. It's the one I've used before in other apartments, and it's very useful. So I got that done, and tested things like furniture that had not lived in other apartments that had been compromised, doing fixtures that were in the apartment itself that would just have been there over time. And the results came back yesterday, and no chitomium, thankfully. There is some level of Aspergillus penicillium or whatever, which is common, and the lab tech and also my doctor were not concerned with that for me. Unfortunately, there is elevated levels of Stachybotrys, which is black mold, and the lab tech was like, yeah, this is like online on Google. It's not at a level that is sort of like a red flag, but the lab tech was like, you might want to find out what this is. Like this, there's clearly something here. And my doctor was like, this is higher than it should be, which means you likely have some kind of water damage issue going on. She's like, I know you're a tenant and not a homeowner, so the chances of being able to like dig around and find it are unlikely. Certainly not easily, and based on the landlord's initial response, probably not very in a friendly way. So she suggested I do. She's like, I now have access to this lab for me. I think it's probably a blood test. I think it's called My Myco lab or something like that from Avexia. It's about $400, and what it will test is whether I'm having a current antibody response to some kind of current exposure. And so, of course, my next thought is, well, the other place where I spend a lot of time is at work. Not as much time as at home, but I spend significant time there, and I know that building has water damage in some places. So I think what I'm going to need to do is also do a Big 2 plus Chitomium test for my office and the little retail shop that I work at, just to see what's there, so that when the My Myco lab results come in, we can determine which one is the bigger offender. If it shows that I have antibodies, I can't imagine I won't. I've been having these horrible migraines about every 3 weeks right now, and then I sort of feel dizzy and brain fogged and just off the rest of the time. Of course, my weight has not shifted. The knee pain has gone away, but I feel like it's really honestly transferred to the back of my neck and my whole brain. So something is up, and I'm not, yeah. So, while this is bad news, especially if I need to, well, I'm going to guess I need to relocate. This will be the 7th relocation in 5 years. And obviously there's like risk with that, because you never know if you're going to get to a new place that works well. I mean, everything visual on this apartment when I moved in was solid. Like, it looked like a solid 10 out of 10. Based on all the sort of like, look in the toilet tank, look under the sink, look at the grouting, look at the ceiling, blah, 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 blah. It looked like a good bet, and apparently it wasn't. So, and maybe that's something that's developed because we've had a lot of heavy rains over the last couple of years here, even though I've not been here last year. Anyway, my symptoms all started ticking up as soon as I came back to Pittsburgh, and I didn't think until recently to check my place. So this is how brain damaged I am, I guess. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. And obviously, like, I can look forward to feeling quite a bit better if this clearly shows an issue, like if the labs at work and my personal labs show up poorly. I have a clear path forward, and with the 2 doctors working together, I also have a clear path for feeling better more quickly than before. So there's a lot of certainty after the changes. But right now, it's just everything feels really hard. Partly because I just don't feel good to do anything, and also because moving is hard. It's very upsetting to the body to move. And if I have to leave my work location, then that begs the question, do I leave Pittsburgh? Would my roommate want to come with me? Lots of things up in the air. But because this is just a mold vlog for my detox, I just want to report that once again I'm being exposed and to a nasty mold, like not a common one, like one that is very damaging to human health. And it's going to require some assertive action in order to keep the damage at a minimum. So this is where I am. The saga continues, and I will be meeting with my 2 new doctor scenario in mid-August, and hoping to have the labs done by then so they can see everything and ask for more lab work if I need it at that time. But certainly getting me a protocol that will help me sort of manage this in the interim while I'm assuming I have to look for a new place to live. So to be continued. And I'll post the Assured Bio lab link in the comment that my little show description or blog description here. So if it's something that you want to do, you can do that too. It's a very low cost test that gives you sort of an easy red flag or no red flag, so that you don't have to invest a whole lot at the front end until you know more. So hopefully that's helpful to some people, and I'll report more later. Take care. Bye-bye.